Hello, it's Chanel. Today I am doing the one tarot card VR, which is to Moon Scarab, but I saw it first on Amethyst Ascension, so I'll also link her video down below. So let's get straight to it. So for the deck that I'm going to be using, I'm using my Persephone themed tarot deck, which is called the Deathly Flowers. So that's the one that I'm going to be using today. So if this interests you, I've got a walkthrough and a little link if you want to grab it for yourself on my site. So that's the one I'm going to be using. The first question is, which one card is inspiring to you? So for me, that is the Queen of Pentacles. And that's because this is who I aspire to be. I love her energy. I am a Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. So whilst I am very familiar with the energy of Scorpio, what I need to do in this life is epitomize more of a Taurian lifestyle. And I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is the perfect example of someone embodying the Taurus energy. She is the homemaker, but she's also astute in financial knowledge. She provides, she nurtures, she takes care of, she is grounded, she's connected to nature. And these are all things that I want to be. So also the 10 of Pentacles is sort of like my ideal scenario in life. But yeah, this is the card that is most inspiring because this is who I want to become. So that is the Queen of Pentacles. Next up, we have, which card is the most distressing? For me, it is the Nine of Swords. So as someone who previously suffered with a huge amount of anxiety and depression and suicidal ideation, my mind was a prison. It was just full of fear and darkness. I'm no longer that way thanks to psilocybin mushrooms and years of therapy and shadow work and healing and everything else. But this one worries me because it's a reminder of the space that I used to live in on a daily basis, just constant guilt and regret and fear and anxiety and all of those really jazzy experiences. So the Nine of Air is always a card I don't want to see come up in a tarot for me, because it's like, okay, am I going to be worrying excessively about something, or am I feeling deep unhappiness and stress and everything else? So that's the card that I don't like. I know some people don't like seeing the devil or the tower or death. I'm fine with those, bruh. This is the one that I struggled with almost my entire life and only found freedom from recently. So Nine of Swords. The next question is, which card is the most enigmatic to you? And it's got to be the High Priestess. Like, that's her whole shtick, is a mystery and being an enigma and unknowable and sort of keeping to herself and her connection with the divine and the spiritual, and also seeing beyond the veil, the mysticism surrounding her. And for me, she's probably feels like, you know, the one that would have the most knowledge of the occult in the deck. So the High Priestess is absolutely the most alluringly mysterious and enigmatic for me. The next question is, which one card would I put in a 1,000-year time capsule for future humankind? That's a Star card because it epitomizes hope. It epitomizes the light after darkness, the healing after injury. And I think that's what human beings need to have. It's that the whole thing with Pandora's box, after everything was released, I think it was still hope left behind. So I think hope is very important. And that's why I would put it as a reminder in the box so that human beings can always remember to look for the North Star to guide them. If you were elected president of a newly created country, which one card would you use as a flag? So I've gone with the Two of Cups for this one. Because I wanted something genderless, but something that represents unity and coming together and relationships, because I believe that human beings are strongest when they are united in love and in tolerance and in acceptance. And so that's why I would choose this one, that, you know, we're all the same and we should treat each other as we would treat ourselves, with kindness and with respect. And that's why I would pick this one. I'll probably just have like that. Keep it minimal, just the two hands, red hands with the black background. I were Earth's ambassador to an alien civilization. Which one card would I use to represent humanity? And I've picked the 10 of Cups. And the reason that I've done that is I know some people say it's like possibly romance, like getting a happily ever after, but that's happily ever after for me. And it's also because it represents family. And I think that that's an important aspect to like show aliens, like we can love and support each other, and there is unconditional love, and we can be in harmony, we can be in peace, we can form connections, that human beings at the end of the day just want to be part of a family or a community, a healthy one, obviously. Let me add that caveat in there, a healthy one. But yeah, it's just showing for me love and peace and teamwork and positivity overall. So that's the card I would pick. It says, which one card represents someone you love? So for me, that is the Six of Cups, because it represents to me my children. My children are in that beautiful time of childhood and innocence and imagination. And this card reminds me of them, of the magic of youth and the magic of being carefree and having endless possibilities and seeing magic everywhere you look, and the gentleness too and the innocence of children. So this card reminds me of my little girls, and that's why I've picked it. Which one card would you choose as the cover of my autobiography? I would choose this one. So this isn't a tarot card, this is a maybe. And I've chosen it because I like the way it looks. It's a woman being a little bit cheeky. It's got the red and the black, and it's got a Scorpio kind of vibe. And I'm just, I'm into it. So that's the one I've picked. If I was going to pick a tarot card for my autobiography, if I was going to pick a tarot card, because of obviously like the energy that it represents, for me, I would be choosing the Hermit. Because as much as I love the Sun card and the Queen of Pentacles, and that's who I strive to be, most of the time I'm in this mode. I'm very introverted and solitary and in my head and always working on myself and reflecting on everything and trying to find the answers. So this card is the most indicative of me and my energy most of the time. That's why I would choose it if I was going to have to pick a tarot card for my cover of my book. The next card is if I could upgrade a Minor Arcana to Major Arcana status, which would it be? So I'm going to copy Amethyst Ascension, my darling friend who chose the Aces, because I also feel that that is the cards that I would upgrade, because the Aces themselves are really like, because the Aces to me really represent the core of each suit. So they are the energy of each suit. They are the beginning of it. They are the seed of what that suit will grow into and become, and the potential. But yeah, because they're the beginning of it, they're the genesis of all the suits. I think that they're the ones that I would elevate, because they're not the quartz, they're not the numbers, they're the beginning, the alphas. So I would choose them. Question is, if you could mentor one of the pages. Now I read this wrong. I thought it was just any tarot card, and I was going to choose the Eight of Cups because it's what I've had a lot of experience with, moving on and loss and letting go, but it's which page? So I would mentor the Page of Pentacles, and that's because that's the one that I was most like. I was very focused in my youth on creating stability financially, on planning my entire future, strategizing, writing out my goals, trying to really create that 10 of Pentacles life. This was my goal. And I would tell them, obviously I've got like a lot of experience with planning and organizing and finance and everything like that, so I could help them with that in achieving their goals. But I would also remind them to have some fun, to express my emotions, to get passionate, to get fiery, to play, to spend time with loved ones, to be out in the world, not just absorbed in my projects or job or focus. That you need balance. You need balance. I think that's with like all of the pages. It's like you need some balance. Can't just all be one way. But I would remind them too that sometimes those things, like that creativity and that playfulness and that love and laughter and all those things, can sometimes also yield better results. They can maybe help you see a way to achieve your goal faster that you wouldn't have thought of if it wasn't for that. Like there's always sometimes you sometimes can't see the forest through the trees. You get stuck in the weeds, you know? So taking a break and changing that perspective and indulging in other aspects of life can actually lead you to your goal sooner, rather than feeling that sort of burning desire to just remain focused until it is completed. So I guess that's how I'd mentor them. No, not to be always pragmatic, sometimes to be a bit fanciful as well. So those are all my questions for this tag. I hope that wherever you are having a splendiferous morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, stay well, Star Child.